at home against Rutgers today.
And the Buckeyes will again have to go with a smaller starting lineup. Our lineup's brought to you by Chief. C.J. Jackson, Luther Muhammad. They got to get big production out of them. And we're looking at the matchup in the middle between Omaruri and Wesson.
Yeah, those two guys. Caleb Wesson is key. He has to stay out of foul trouble early on for Ohio State to be effective. And Rutgers has a number of bigs that they will run at him in a variety of different ways.
Only played 7 minutes in that first meeting against Ohio State. Actually, there's a couple of different matchup looks between these two teams. Kyle Long, again, won't play in this game. Played on that game back in January. And the tip goes to Rutgers, wearing the road blacks. Ohio State, of course, in the home whites.
Talk about Kyle Young. He would really be integral in a game like this where there's going to be a lot of loose balls, a lot of physical play.
First shot attempt won't fall for Rutgers. They pick it up. Second chance opportunity. There's a clean look for Baker, who takes it inside and takes the contact, but an offensive foul call.
Nice job of Caleb Wesson. He likes to get in position and draw those charges. Good job of him doing that early on. Geo Baker rubbing that hip a little bit. Remington slightly there. You know, Lisa, he's young. That'll go away like now.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's only a sophomore, right? Like now.
Yeah. Caleb Wesson in the post. Looks like they're going to go one-on-one, not going to double team him early.
Getting bodied up by Shaq Dorson, and he gets the two.
Now, we heard Chris Holtman in a pregame interview talk about having Caleb Wesson go to and move quickly. Don't wait and see what the defense is going to do. Make them react. If I get it out.
Way back in the Michigan State game against when Ohio State took on the Spartans on this very floor, he had talked about that in game with Caleb Wesson, about dictating his moves and not letting the defense dictate it for him. Omaruri will kick it out to Mathis, Montez Mathis, in his 13th start this year. Had a couple of buckets in the final 2 minutes in that game against Ohio State. It pops out from the corner for Andre Wesson. And Eugene Omaruri with the first two.
Omaruri, I'm telling you, he's still playing on 1.5 legs, but you wouldn't know it. The fella is a warrior. He did his best Willis Reed impression in the Nebraska game.
You didn't even know if he was going to play in that game.
Didn't. I thought they were trying to play us like the NFL or Rutgers, but they didn't know either. One man decided to come out and gave his team a big boost.
Dislocated his kneecap in that last meeting against Ohio State. He got the 1-foot fadeaway for Caleb Wesson. He's got a quick 4 points.
Caleb Wesson's got a lot of moves on that post. Can face up. I've seen him reverse pivot, Jack Sigma style, face up. So let's see how Rutgers, if they stay with the man-to-man and no double team so far.
Double dribble call. Turnover from Mathis. Couple of turnovers for Rutgers. Steve Peichel as the head coach in year number 3. He has been all about rebuilding programs as a player, as an assistant, now as a head coach. You even asked him, have you been 500 before in a month? That's exactly where they stand after January, 4-4.
Yeah, I love his approach. You know, he says, hey, we're 1-0. Every game we're trying to approach it the same way. And it's really paid off for this program.
Wesson up and over. Jallo reaching up to get it and then throws it up. I think he thought a foul was going to be called.
I agree. Heck of an individual effort to come up with that offensive rebound.
Musa Jallo getting his 3rd start of the year. Scoreless in that last game against Michigan.
Rutgers has picked up the matchup.
And they saw that mismatch and the bucket from Dorson.
Well, pretty good start on the road for Rutgers. You don't want to get down early. They've responded with a couple of nice buckets. And see where Ohio State wants to go with this. I go right back to Caleb.
They give him the touch just outside the 3-point line. More and more capable of shooting that shot. He's made 14 threes here this year. Will fire. There's one area with Luther Muhammad, after coming off a career-high 24 against Nebraska, had a really poor shooting night against Michigan. Chris Holtman would like to see a little bit more consistency, but he said, hey, look, you know, when really 5 to 6 of my top 9 players are freshmen and sophomores, you're going to have some ups and downs throughout the year.
You are. And, you know, the thing about Luther Muhammad, he plays hard all the time when he's on the floor. And good things happen as a result. So his shooting may be sporadic, but his effort is consistent.
Here's Ron Harper. Kicks it out to Omaruri, and Omaruri, just like that, has a couple of assists, that time feeding Peter Kiss from off the bench.
It looks like Rutgers is a little bit more active here early, Lisa. You know, it's an early start. You know, people are slow to get into the building. Not a lot of energy here. You have to generate your own.
All 6 of their points coming in the paint here for Rutgers, and the foul is called and committed on Miles Johnson. Rutgers and Ohio State facing each other for the 2nd time this year. And Ohio State looking to get a little revenge back at the
coach. I'm not going to throw him out on the bus, but he's like, this is why we're way smarter than football coaches.
This building's going to become cold awfully quickly, though. They're doing the double dip with the little ice hockey coming up later tonight, though.
We got a quick change in the auditorium as opposed to in the performance.
Show. Both are equally impressive.
I agree.
Ohio State coming out of that timeout empty-handed again. And again, all 6 points have come in the paint here for Rutgers. Omaruri looking to get it again, make it all 8, and he really took it at Weston that time.
I'm telling you, they're not double teaming, so Omaruri is as strong as anyone on the floor, even Caleb Weston. Took him right to the paint, got an easy bucket.
And so now it's Wesson's turn. Back the other way, he will turn and face Johnson. Jackson, one driven pull-up is short.
Golly, that wasn't close. He and Luther Muhammad's shots are really off.
Ohio State, no points in the last 3+ minutes or so. From the corner, it's Peter Kiss. And on the push, Jallo. Still no bucket for Ohio State. That's
a tough break right there. You want to get those layup opportunities when you can against a Rutgers team that's pretty stout half-court defensively. Musa Jallo, I'm sure, would want a chance to get that one back.
Here's Baker. Took some contact, no call. And the rebound to Jallo.
Geo Baker's looking for the call, but there's not many calls to be had here in the first half. Old school Big Ten game, let them play a little bit.
No free throw attempts at all. Chris Beaver, Green, Rob Riley are your officials, and from up top, one Caleb Weston, and that's one way that he's kind of stretched his game out this year.
I think his game is unlimited. It's what he can really do.
Offensive rebound is the 2nd opportunity thanks to Miles Johnson. Kiss from the wing.
I like Miles Johnson. I think he needs to get a touch in the post as well.
They leave Caleb open again. Back-to-back 3-point makes for the big man.
It's good to see a guy like Caleb Weston who worked so hard first, Lisa, on his body, then started to really improve his skill set, and to see him extend his range out to the 3. Really good to see his hard work pay off.
It's the Weston brothers 10, Rutgers 8. Caleb and Andre have all 10 points here for the Buckeyes, and count up Weston once again.
And this is so difficult cover. You're trying to cover Caleb Weston, and he's got that feel and touch from the outside. When you're big, you're sustained in the paint defensively. Tough to close out on him.
Weston hasn't missed from the floor. Perfect 3 for 3 at 1 3-point make. The other one was just inside the 3-point line. Caleb Weston, though, had a really good start against Michigan. And then kind of fizzled out a little bit, a lot of it because of Michigan's defense as that game went on.
Yeah, and there was a little chippiness towards the second half of that game, and was reading some of the comments from Chris Holtman and the team, and they think that in that second half and that loss to Michigan, it really pulled them together as a unit. So let's see if we can see some of that today.
Yeah, Caleb Weston there from the baseline, still hasn't missed. Now a perfect 5 for 5. You're right, Keyshawn Woods told the local media he felt like there's an incident like that, sometimes they can draw the team together. Caleb Wesson really didn't play the final 8 minutes of that game after getting the technical. Jump ball called. Ohio State will get it. And talk about a little jawing action. We got a little bit there going back and forth.
And the gentleman that you referenced, Keyshawn Woods, right in the mix. The upperclassmen knowing that they need some effort and energy from their leaders. Keyshawn Woods, C.J. Jackson, they've got to bring it here this afternoon. Caleb Wesson's gotten them a good start, but he can't do it by himself.
No, he's got 12 points here so far. And from the corner, someone other than Caleb Wesson getting the bucket. An 11-0 run for Ohio State.
Nice three-point shot, Caleb Wesson. His game is hitting on all cylinders here early.
Well, after Ohio State went on a run where they didn't score really about 3 minutes plus, they went on an 11-0 run. Caleb Wesson, as you saw, hasn't missed a shot. The rest of the team, however, 1 for 8 after the Luther Muhammad three. And so now with Wesson out, an important part of this stretch for both Ohio State and Rutgers. A second chance try. It won't fall for Shaq Carter, who has entered the game.
Good job by the smaller lineup of Ohio State of clearing that defensive glass. Rutgers had one extra opportunity, but Woods, some of the other guards got back in on the glass that time.
Jaden Ledee is the tallest player out there for Ohio State at 6'9". Then it's Andre Wesson at 6'6". Jackson can't get it. And so Rutgers now 0 points in the last 4+ minutes. Will try to generate some offense.
Rutgers does this on occasion where they have scoring droughts. Still young, so where do you go to get a bucket right now? I go to Shaq Carter if I'm Rutgers.
Here's Mathis, drops it off to Dorsett. And a blocking foul before the shot. Foul committed on Luther Muhammad. Why Carter at that time?
I like Shaq Carter. I've seen him in spurts, Lisa, where he can dominate the post. He's got good size. He's a junior college transfer, so he's not a younger guy. He's got some experience. He knows how to score in the paint. Uses that strong body to create space. But Rutgers, they got to give him some touches here early on.
This season, he's averaging about 6 points per game, but in that last meeting against Ohio State, had double figures, put up 11 against the Buckeyes.
He got ample opportunities. His teammates kept going to him, and he was very efficient.
And it's that kind of physicality that concerns Chris Holtmann. We will constantly talk about it today, but that matchup in the middle for Ohio State certainly tilts towards Rutgers' way. Mid-range jumper is good for Caleb McConnell.
I like Caleb McConnell. I mean, great size at the backcourt position at 6'6", 6'7". Good athlete, can score the rock.
Well, he's in to shoot, but he's gone cold really kind of the last 5 games. He's 3 of 15 shooting. From the wing, it's Washington. And as Wesson enters the game again, earns himself an offensive rebound and draws a foul. Might be a hook and hold there on Caleb Wesson.
Oh, they're going to go look. They got tangled up a little bit on this rebound. Let's take a look.
That is what the officials are taking a look at, is a potential hook and hold here.
Yeah, and again, Lisa, this is a tough one for me because Caleb Wesson is, I'll say 260. Let's say Shaq Carter's 250. That's a lot of weight down there. And when guys start to lose their balance, they're going to spray, they're going to grab, they're going to hold. It's not an intentional thing. You see right there, no intentional thing right there, except maybe
Did he get the advantage?
Yes.
Yeah.
Shaq holding his arm a little bit, but that's a tough break. Either way, and hopefully there's nothing called. But either way, it's a tough break. Just because those are basketball plays, guys are banging each other. And, you know, I understand the rule. It's for safety purposes, and we've seen guys get hurt like this. So I understand the rule. It's just when you're an official in this situation, it's just really tough. Good thing that Wesson kind of landed awkwardly after getting the contact after he left the ground. So I was happy to see that he didn't land awkwardly at all.
A flagrant one foul call on number 13 for the Scarlet Knights, Shaq Carter for hook and hold.
A flagrant one on Shaq Carter for the hook and hold.
Yep. So he'll get Wesson will get 2 free throws and the rock. Oh, it's a big man with such nice touch from the free throw line. Watch this. No wasted motion. Reaching to the cookie jar.
Yeah, how valuable is that to have a big man who can shoot free throws?
Tell you what. I think free throws and whatnot. 14 points in the first half.
Hasn't missed a shot from the free throw line, from the field, and from the three-point line, by the way. 14 of the 17 for Ohio State. Draws another foul. That one again on Carter. So he's picked up a couple of quick ones.
Yeah, that's tough. I understand the frustration. Watch all the contact here. And you know what Courtney Green got him? The left hand right there. That's where he got the foul. So back in the day, this is not a knock on Courtney Green or the officials, but back in the day, if you didn't get an advantage, the officials let that go. You just play on. So Green made the right call.
We're not back in the day anymore, Stephen Bardo.
No, and I'm talking way back in the day. No, we're not.
Andre Wesson trying to defend Omaruri, who's been really kind of a distributor here to start for Rutgers.
He has. We saw him get that power layup that one time, but he was really dishing to his teammates beautifully.
Well, you can tell part of the difference of this turnaround for Rutgers is the fact that he returned after that dislocated kneecap. Their leader back, their heart and soul back, and their leading scorer and rebounder, oh, by the way, he's back too.
Right. And you know that game that he came back, Lisa, he wasn't great. Offensively, he didn't do a ton, but his presence meant everything to Rutgers.
Rutgers again had started out conference play 0-3. Beginning of January, Ohio State was 12-1 overall. Wesson, a three-point shooting threat today.
So Caleb Wesson's going to force Rutgers to change their coverage. They're going to have to double team him. I know that was a three-point shot, but they're going to change up the way that he's getting basketball.
The 16-2 Ohio State run, and now the largest lead of the game, plus 10. He's in the lane, and trying the contact is McConnell.
Well, Caleb Wesson, Lisa, I mean, we haven't seen many guys this hot in the first half. Every time he touches now, he's letting it fly, and why not? Big fella late to close out. Big men don't like to close out like that anyway. So Caleb Wesson knows that. He's got plenty of time to get that release off.
We saw hot shooting by Carson Edwards. You talk about a guy who started out hot. His start on Thursday against Penn State could rival something like this, though he wasn't even perfect during that hot stretch.
No, but I mean, you expect it almost from Carson Edwards. You know what I mean? Because we've seen him hit 40, hit 30 plus. I think he had 38 in that game. He's fun to watch.
He hit 8 threes in that game against Penn State. And Wesson trying to do his best Carson Edwards impression. He's 3 for 3 from 3.
I tell you what, Rutgers now first time with some three-quarter court pressure. A little 2-2-1 action. Ohio State handles it with no problem.
This is the zone that was giving Ohio State some problems back in that first meeting. Didn't necessarily associate zone with a Rutgers defense, but it's something that Steve Peichel has pulled out now twice against Ohio State.
Especially, Lisa, when, you know, Woods has struggled shooting the basketball from deep, as has C.J. Jackson in the last month. And so you have to pay attention to Washington because he's a capable three-point shooter, but everyone else on the floor, outside of Caleb Wesson, he kind of, you know, dare them to take the outside shot.
Andre gets his first point. Hey, speaking of Carson Edwards, the Red Hot Boilermakers square off with Amir Coffey in Minnesota at Mackey Arena. That is coming up. Big Ten basketball presented by Jeep tomorrow at noon Eastern here on BTN and, of course, the Fox Sports app. So now Purdue has kind of made this Big Ten talk in this race a little bit interesting. A lot of people thought it was going to be a battle between the state of Michigan, and Purdue says, don't forget about us.
They sure have. And I think Matt Painter, if there was a midway Coach of the Year candidate, I think he would win it hands down.
Over John Beilein or Tom Izzo?
Totally. Because listen, Michigan and Michigan State were preseason 1-2. Purdue was maybe middle of the pack, maybe lower third of the Big Ten.
And there was a point in December where people were even questioning if they would be an NCAA tournament team.
That's right. 7-5. They had lost at Texas. Even when Carson Edwards had scored 40, they had still lost. But Trevion Williams has made the big difference with Purdue.
We're in Biggie's old number, 50.
And that's big shoes to fill, buddy. I tell you.
The top 9 in the standings, you see where Rutgers and Ohio State, the two teams are watching here, both with 6 losses, both looking to move their way up. Wisconsin trending up. They got a big win against Maryland last night, and Iowa, a huge win against Michigan.
Iowa, that's the Hawkeye team that people expected to see much more consistently. Offensive juggernaut, but their defense was really good last night.
And of course, the Spartans and Hoosiers will take it later tonight. But you got to jump ahead and think about in the end of this month, Michigan and Michigan State will play each other really in a span of like 14 days, which could ultimately decide this championship.
It's going to be interesting. And, you know, because now Michigan State without Josh Langford, they have been used to playing without Joshua Langford. But when you've got a guy like that down the stretch, someone else is going to have to step up. So it's going to be interesting if they can navigate the gauntlet that is February Big Ten basketball. Talking about Michigan State and Michigan.
Really making good on the second free throw. Again, Rutgers 3-0 since his return. Only played 7 minutes in that first meeting. Rutgers looking for some offense, though. 22-13. And with no field goals and about 3 minutes of counting now.
So you go into those type of droughts in the Big Ten conference, a conference like this, the opposing team normally takes advantage.
Wesson, that's his first miss.
And had a good look.
And he was closer to the basket than some of those three-point shots he's had. Wesson with the challenge. Rutgers retains. Still 17 seconds on the shot clock.
This young man with the basketball, Miles Johnson, I really like his game. I don't think Rutgers utilized him enough on the offensive end.
Baker with the kick out to Mathis for 3.
Well, that was a needed three-point bucket for Rutgers. See if they can capitalize on that.
It's their only three-point bucket so far of this game. Washington looking to cross over to Andre Wesson. He's had some trouble close range today.
Miles go to work on the post. Good footwork on the post.
That's what you like about him.
I'm telling you. Miles Johnson, I think he could be a double-digit scorer for Rutgers. I know I'm not questioning anything Steve Pike and his staff are doing. Fantastic job. But that young man can get buckets in the post.
Miles Johnson, one of the freshmen here for Rutgers.
Game that would be a big key. That's why Kyle Young's absence is so key in this game.
Yeah, not only providing the physicality, and frankly, just another body on the inside. One of those glue guys, one of those blue-collar guys. With the latest run now for Rutgers. 7-0 in the last minute and a half, and that drought ending there by Caleb Wesson.
Well, that was a tough play by Wesson. He went through 2 defenders. Looked like Miles Johnson was going to have a chance at the block. But Wesson's focus at the rim, stellar.
You look at the discrepancy there, 19 points. The rest of the team 5 for Ohio State. Turn around, he gets the lefty to fall.
God, he's so much fun to watch because he's not spectacular by any means, but he's so effective. Takes his time, uses his strength, able to finish.
12 of the 20 points for Rutgers coming in the paint. To the corner, and it's good for Keyshawn Woods.
That was a really good execution of the offense against the zone. Making Rutgers pick an option, leaving Woods open for the three.
The fifth three-point make for this team. Playing against that 2-3 zone has been a struggle sometimes for Ohio State. There's your man again, Miles Johnson.
Miles Johnson, 8 feet in. He may be the most effective Rutgers player in that situation.
Ohio State struggled against the zone in the only non-conference loss to Syracuse. Steve Peichel had said, of course, they look at that. They actually work on the zone every single day, though they might not play it in the game. There's a nice take from Andre Wesson.
Yeah, you talk about that zone. Syracuse's zone flusters everyone. So, Ohio State doesn't have to hang their hat about that. But that was an indicator, you're right, Lisa, teams maybe utilizing that against Ohio State.
A little bit of a blueprint, maybe. We got a foul here on the floor. Foul going against Keyshawn Woods. 5 team fouls now between both of these teams.
Well, I was watching Omoruyi. He got pushed down by Keyshawn Woods. Was slow to get up. I'm not sure if it's that knee or what, but believe me, if he can still go, he'll be out there.
All right now, fending off of pesky Jackson. Too strong. A second attempt for Mathis can't get it. How about a third? And Muhammad diving for it, trying to get the timeout. And they get it.
Good hustle. Now, Chris Holtman talking about going to the floor. People, hey, is he playing? Is he playing? They kept saying, well, we don't know. I'm thinking, wow, why can't they just tell us? He warmed up. He went to the locker room. He wasn't on the bench at the start of the game. First TV timeout. Here comes Willis, a.k.a. Eugene Omoruyi, out on the floor.
The deep triple try is good for C.J. Jackson, and it wasn't like Rutgers was trying to keep it from you. The coaching staff legitimately didn't even know.
They didn't know. This guy is just a warrior. And for you young people, go on YouTube and type Willis Reed in, and then you'll understand what I'm talking about.
On cue, Omoruyi drawing the foul. And speaking of one of those wins, as he came back against Indiana in the last game, look at some of the intangibles that he can do. And sparks this kind of response from his teammates.
And you know what? Peter Kissel's initially he was mad because Omoruyi grabbed him, because that's in the heat of the moment, but he was happy about it moving forward because he got him out of a potentially tough situation. So Omoruyi, grown man, great leader, and Steve Peichel would adopt him if he could.
He's the one he called the kind of a players-only meeting. We hear so much. It's almost cliche when I hear about a players-only meeting, but Omoruyi didn't like the way his team was playing when he was out of the game. Called a players-only meeting, and that helped them turn the corner. And obviously his return has helped as well. But what's different about Rutgers players-only meeting versus other people's?
Well, the difference is that if Eugene Omoruyi calls a players-only meeting, nobody's going to beat his behind in the meeting. See, that's what you got. The person that calls the meeting has to be the toughest guy on the team. And that's why it was effective for Rutgers.
Pulls and fires won't fall that time for Woods. 10-point edge here for Ohio State behind the 19 points from Caleb Wesson. Right now trying to defend Shaq Dorsett.
You talk about defense. Ohio State has been excellent here in the first half defensively. They're not giving a whole lot of clean looks to Rutgers.
The pass, Dorsett picking it back out. 3 on the shot clock. Omoruyi's got to let it fly. And a second opportunity. No look pass. And it'll be Dorsett going to the free throw line.
So even though Rutgers got a second chance opportunity, everything is hard for Rutgers. They're not getting easy looks. That has a lot to do with Ohio State's defense. They're swarming. They're reactive. That was a really good pass by McConnell and maybe even a better foul. And Dorsett earned at the line.
Stay tuned for the State Farm halftime report. Dave Revson just settles Mike DeCourcy. Get nice and comfy and cozy in our Chicago studios.
Hopefully, the weather will start to warm up a little bit in Chi-Town.
You had to make your way all. How about calling backboard there on that free throw? But you had to make your way all the way up to Minneapolis during this cold time, right?
Yeah, I was there for the polar vortex, 51 below zero wind chill factor. So, you know, brings out your character, Lisa. You know what I mean?
Is that what it does?
Yeah, your long johns and your character, your boots and everything.
I was going to say, it brings out the layers. I'm not sure about the character. That one hitting every single inch of the rim before it falls through for Luther Muhammad.
I tell you what, this Ohio State team, I do credit that second half of the Michigan game. They seem more connected. They seem locked in. Their consistent effort has been present here in the first half on the defensive end.
50% shooting from three for Ohio State. 7 of 14, the largest lead of the game, and they get Caleb Wesson there on the foul. Or no, Luther Muhammad.
Boy, Chris Holtman getting after Luther Muhammad, but he likes what he sees here. Look at Dorson and Caleb Wesson exchanging pleasantries underneath the bucket.
He's been getting that a lot lately. Chris Holtman, been going back to that Michigan exchange, even told the media that he actually felt that Caleb Wesson showed great restraint in that game. And he was proud of the way that his sophomore handled that.
You know, and what I read between the lines, Lisa, is that Chris Holtman in that situation probably would not have. Don't get it twisted. People forget he was an All-American at Taylor University in Indiana. Chris Holtman was a heck of a player, and he's got a toughness that is underneath that smooth exterior of his.
Well, he's got to be happy, too, with those numbers for Caleb. In the first half, really the reason why Ohio State has an 11-point edge.
I agree. You want your best players to step up.
Yeah, that and the Buckeyes defense. Here's Wesson trying to go on the work, bodying up Dorson. Fade away. What a half Caleb Wesson has had.
I'm telling you, Shaq Dorson played really good defense that time, but Caleb Wesson, you got a guy as hot as him. You got to keep the ball out of his hand.
Well, they feed Dorson back the other way. But a 21-point first half for Caleb Wesson, his fourth career 20-point game.
Where do you go now? Go to Caleb.
Career high is 31 back in December against Youngstown State. Skip pass all the way to the wing. It's short. You like him giving it up at that point?
I think he felt like there was a double team coming, so he kicked it out. I would like to see him score, though.
Again, State Farm halftime report coming up. Dave, Jess, Mike standing by. Talk about even the good matchups that we had even on Friday night, last night.
Man.
Mentioned the upsets of Michigan and Wisconsin holding serve at home.
That's just every night. There's such high-level competition in this league. You know, if you think Penn State is an easy game, ask Purdue. Had to go to overtime on Thursday.
Advantage here in Columbus, a place where Ohio State is now 8-4 at home on this floor. Baker has been quiet in the first half. His first points after going 0 for 3.
I like that shot because Rutgers needed something positive offensively to go into halftime break. He stepped up with a lot of confidence on that one.
Just the second three-point make for Rutgers in this half.
Oh, nice backdoor cut.
On a few seconds, Kiss let it fly. A little extra English on that shot. And no whistle, no call.
A lot of contact on that Peter Kiss release there.
The story, though, for Ohio.
In the first half of Caleb Wesson. That's huge for Ohio State.
A guy who's put up 42 fouls really in the last 10 games. Fouled out 3 times during that stretch. That's absolutely huge.
So now you're going to see Rutgers try to make him play defense, but nice job by his brother coming over the double team forcing the ball out of Dorsey's hands.
So they started going into the hands of Omorie. He's the leading scorer. He's done that behind the back pass a couple of times, finds Dorson.
And you know what, Chris Holtman not happy, but that's a nifty pass. Big fella got some skills.
And you think that he practices that, because like I said, we've seen that a couple times out of him.
Yeah, you know what, Lisa, when you see a player that doesn't hesitate in those scenarios, I think you're right. Something he's comfortable with, something that he's practiced.
You're going to try that, though. You better make it work.
That's right, because you sit next to the coach.
Jackson for three. And the three-point shot has been kind to Ohio State.
And it's good to see C.J. Jackson raised with some confidence. He's not been as confident lately on his outside shot.
The bump from Andre Wesson. I bet you he works on this not once, not twice, maybe 3 times.
Oh yeah, but I mean hit the big fella right in his hand. He didn't have to do anything. Look at this. I mean, the right English, right to the big fella. You're not going to get a better pass than that all afternoon.
And really, it's the only way that with that angle and being defended that he can get it to his teammate.
You're right. So that was a high-level play. And we ran that back so our viewers could check it out.
Jackson on the push. He was looking for Jallo, who starts the second half. Again, Lucid Jallo starting this game for Ohio State. The Buckeyes once again playing without Kyle Young, and when we talked to Chris Holtman about that, he said that he could even still be weeks away. He's done absolutely nothing in practice so far.
Yeah, and I like the way that the college programs now err on the side of caution. Don't throw guys out there, hey, you think you can go? No, we're going to make sure you're healthy before you get back on the floor. Kyle Young would be wonderful in this game based on how physical Rutgers is in their big front line.
Here's the takeaway. Jackson on the move, looking for some help. Gets it on the trail. Caleb Wesson back to Jackson, pulls up and fires and hits. Nice. And a really good start here for Ohio State, forcing Rutgers to call the timeout. 42-31, Buckeyes edge.
Against him in practice like that, and now you're seeing the benefits of all that hard work.
Well, you saw him bodying him up there. He says that he likes to try to use, Greg Oden that is, tries to use his length a little bit more and practice on Caleb and get him used to tipping the ball away and some of the double teams that he sees a little bit more this year. The other way out of the timeout, that's Dorson with the and one.
Did Shaq Dorson go with his left hand off the glass?
He went with his left hand off the glass.
I mean, that's fundamentally sound right there. The big fella getting the rock. That was an excellent post feed, by the way, but the big fella with the left off the glass, showing the touch, taking the contact, the concentration. Shaquille Dorson doing it right.
Smiling from ear to ear. By the way, that's the third on Andre Wesson. And meanwhile, brother Caleb still hasn't picked up his foul. The longest that he's gone without fouling in the game this year. Jackson lost it. The senior point guard struggling a little bit as of late. That's the first turnover, by the way, for Ohio State. Baker offering his blocks. Here's Jackson once again.
Ooh, good job getting out of that double team. That looked to be, nice job by Caleb.
Now back-to-back turnovers. We're going about almost 23 minutes without a turnover.
Ron Harper Jr. has been really quiet here today. Has the ability to score the basketball as well.
Harper Jr., no points, actually no shots, even in this game.
You got to go back to Caleb Wesson, don't you? Get the big fella a touch.
He got hit from behind, holding the back of his head.
I mean, he almost lost his balance there. Dorson tried to grab his shirt so that he wouldn't fall over. He obviously caught a nice one in the back of the head. It was not intentional. Let's see, right? Wow. It may have been delayed hit or something. I can see the direct contact.
Woods, meanwhile, into the lane for two.
This is the most aggressive I've seen Keyshawn Woods in quite a while here. I know he was upset at the Michigan game, but he's looking for a shot. He's making things happen. He's aggressive defensively.
Here's Harper, his first shot. They need more of that from him.
And remember, ladies and gentlemen, Rutgers won this first matchup at home against Ohio State. So if they can continue to keep this within a single-digit deficit, one run, and their confidence could be sky high in the second half.
They're working around to Andre. Don't forget, this is a Rutgers team that trailed by 10 in the last game against Indiana. As Andre Russell draws the foul. Downtown Columbus, sitting 20.
Oh, you had it right. Yeah, you said 4.
Yeah, Michigan's got a quarterback, I think, that's involved in that game.
Okay. I'm racking my brain.
Tom Brady. You heard of him?
There you go. You got me on that one. Just went. Yeah, I'm too
Stephen
focused.
Bardo had checked out at that point.
I'm too far into this basketball game, man. Pull back out there for a second.
Plug back into the football world.
That's right.
I thought you were kidding at first. Trying to play dumb.
Well, it's hard to keep up with you Northwestern folk. You and Sean Morris, man. Y'all set a high bar there.
Try to run circles around you, right?
Yep.
Don't play nice. Johnson with the take. And whistle for the offensive foul.
Wow, Keyshawn Woods, understanding that he got a break, he comes out smiling like it's his birthday. Takes the contact, draws a foul. That's a big play, because if Rutgers scores there, they have a possibility to cut it to 7. And Miles Johnson was point-blank range, so yet again, good defensive effort by Ohio State.
Caleb Wesson yet to score here in this second half. They give him a touch here. The left block. Jackson in trouble, 3 to shoot. They give it to the three-point shooter, why not? That's his first miss, though, from three-point territory.
Excellent defensive possession by Rutgers that time. Closed out on Caleb Wesson shooting a deep 3.
Ohio State basketball. That's the question with Caleb Wesson, is he's had either a good first half or a good second half, and he's got to put 2 good 40 minutes together.
Yeah, and I think he can. And the key to that, I think, Lisa, is staying out of foul trouble. So he did that. He was hot in the first half. They haven't really gotten him going here in the second, but they're trying to get the rock to him this time.
Give him yet another touch. Again, it's Johnson defending him. Jackson out to Muhammad. Rattles it around. Flirting with that rim and all parts of the rim on this side, too.
And Luther Muhammad could be a star before his days are over here at Ohio State. He's got an old-school motor in terms of on the defensive end. Loves to defend. He's got good athleticism, good live body.
Backdoor look. Again, Ohio State shooting 50% from 3 still. Diving on the floor and a jump ball. It'll be Ohio State.
Well, Ohio State has really caused havoc here in the second half offensively for Rutgers. See there, Clint McConnell's on the floor and tries to shovel it out. Good job by Ron Harper Jr. on the tie-up, because if he doesn't lay out like that, Ohio State may have the turnover going the other way.
9 turnovers now for Rutgers. Hand off to Woods. And looking for Wesson. It's Omoruri guarding him. We haven't seen Omoruri actually guarding Caleb Wesson a lot in this game.
Yeah, I think what Steve Pike on his staff want to do is they want to keep Omoruri out of foul trouble in that situation. Caleb Wesson is just such a difficult matchup, and Rutgers is choosing not to double team right now. So that would put a lot of pressure on Omoruri one-on-one defensively.
Woods from the wing, forced to kick it out. Andre Wesson with 1 on the shot clock.
Nice work that time by Miles Johnson, keeping Caleb Wesson off the offensive glass.
Get out of there. Backdoor look. They were looking for McConnell. Luther Muhammad's third personal. Tuesday on BTN, Xavier Simpson leads 5th-ranked Michigan to New Jersey for a clash with the Scarlet Knights. Big Ten basketball presented by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Tuesday at 8 Eastern right here on BTN and, of course, the Fox Sports app. McConnell can't get it.
Ohio State has numbers if they hurry. Nice job defensively by Johnson.
And the pickup by Chom. First time we've seen Issa Chom picks up the assist in feeding McConnell. You were just saying at halftime, we haven't seen Issa Chom in the first half.
Yeah, Issa Chom is a guy 6'10" at the two-guard position. It was the tallest two-guard in the country last year. Starting two-guard. And really has lost his confidence on the outside ball. His numbers have dwindled as a result.
Haven't played really in the last couple of games. Muhammad lets it fly. And the foul on Andre Wesson, that'll be number 4.
That's a critical foul right there, because now you got to come in off the bench with your freshman, Jaden Ledee. And he's got the body to compete, but does he have the knowledge and experience to grind on the interior against these Scarlet Knights?
Only averages about 7 minutes per game. You see the rebounding total there. Rutgers actually out-rebounding Ohio State in this one. Ledee guarding Omaruri.
Wow. I think he might be the most patient guy in the post in the conference. He doesn't rush. He doesn't care if guys are coming. There's a lot of traffic. It doesn't matter. He always takes his time.
Omaruri whistled for the touch foul. That's his first.
Gains preceding that one last night. He is on a terrific roll, big fella, overcoming that cyst removal at the beginning of the season and hasn't missed a beat.
When you talk about environments, I mean, when Carver Hawkeye is rocking, it's tough to top that. Mackey, of course, is up there. President Center, the Kohl Center, pretty good.
Yep. No, I agree.
Recent years.
I think you hit the two best in the head in terms of 30 years ago.
Yeah, right.
Hawkeye Arena and Carver Hawkeye and Mackey. House of Horrors for the Illini back in the day.
And Michigan has got court stormed, if I could use that as a verb, twice now, and it's 2 losses. At the Kohl Center and then at Carver last night.
Okay. I like how you did that, court storm.
And turned it into a verb.
I like it.
That's what Northwestern people do.
I see. I see.
8-point edge here. And the turnovers, Ohio State, remember, had gone through the whole first half without a turnover. Allen picked up a couple.
You can hear the Rutgers coaching staff screaming at the officials, calling for a movement screen. And they're not getting it. The player's going to have to fight through that contact. Nice job by Ohio State. Every time Rutgers seems to want to make a move, Ohio State has an answer.
And there's your answer, too. 3 for a 3. McConnell answering the Jackson trot.
Rutgers trying to change defenses a little bit, going back to man-to-man. Oh, that's great.
Weston with a turnaround. By the way, those are his first points of the second half. So nearly playing almost 10 minutes without scoring.
Yeah, and kind of surprising. You see that at the college level a lot. Not so much in the NBA. When somebody's rolling in the NBA, they get the rock. At college, the teammates sometimes will forget about it.
Baker from up top.
I didn't like that attempt by Geo Baker. Plenty of time on the shot clock. You got to move the defense around when you're attacking the zone.
I hadn't thought about it. Now they're going to feed Wesson twice. Again being defended by Johnson. That time he skips it out. It's blocked. Jackson stays with it and takes it in for 2.
Nice job by C.J. Jackson not giving up on the play. Good individual effort by McConnell. Jackson, yet again, Ohio State has an answer for Rutgers.
Rutgers has tried to win 3 straight by muddying things up, winning ugly, if you will. The second half maybe kind of following the tune of that a little bit more than the first half. and forcing another turnover for Ohio State.
Ohio State getting a little loose with the basketball here in the second half.
A little sloppy play for both sides.
Well, McConnell, a freshman, he saw a shot drop, came back and shot another one, didn't get the drop. You got to know where the ball needs to go in all situations in the second half of the Big Ten. Can't have empty possessions if you want to win on the road.
Here's Justin Arns, who's checked in. Musa Jallo, Justin Arns, Ladie, three players getting more playing time with Kyle Youngman now. Coming up next on BTN, a doubleheader continuing. Nebraska taking on the Illini. Big Ten basketball presented by G continues right here on BTN. Of course, the Fox Sports app. I believe Sean Morris might be on that. You mentioned Sean.
Oh, on the Nebraska-Illinois call? Boy, it was unfortunate to see Isaac Copeland go down with that season-ending knee injury. Integral part of what the Huskers are trying to do. I think it's safe to say among Husker fans, it's been somewhat of a disappointing season.
Oh, for sure. A lot of expectations, expecting to make the NCAAs. And you could argue, really, Ohio State is kind of in that boat. Nebraska, Ohio State, Indiana. If they want to try to make that postseason push, they got to turn it into gear here in this month.
You hit it spot on, Lisa, in terms of those three teams and the struggles that they've had thus far. But being in a good conference like the Big Ten, you've got ample opportunity.
Jackson with the little runner. It's been pretty consistent in terms of projections, in terms of making teams into the NCAA from the Big Ten. For as many as 10 consistently, 8 or 9. But that could change if the Big Ten and those teams in particular don't have a good month here. Oh, shovel pass as Arns came over.
Well, that's good hustle. And it's reminiscent of what we've seen in the second half. Ohio State has matched the intensity on loose balls, on 50-50 plays. Watch the backside hustle, Arns not allowing Shaq Carter an open look. Take one more look. The defensive backflow, impressive that time. Shaq Carter doesn't think it's impressive. He's going to leave with a headache on that exchange.
Justin Arns is supposed to be in the game, what, for his shooting capability?
Hey, but you know what? If you want to get more playing time, coaches love defense and hustle now. They saved the open bucket right there.
Rui baseline.
Oh, did they give Omarui a technical foul?
They did. Slap the backboard.
Take a look.
Afterwards. Look.
Style points, hey. I mean, it's pretty obvious what happened. Can't smack the backboard. Do a pull-up.
Back in the day, you could.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Can't now, though. I mean, and you know what? When you have a play like that, and you're excited, you're trying to get your team back into the game, and then you get hit with a technical foul. That's a critical call. I mean, now it's a double-digit lead. Ohio State has the basketball.
Wesson with just 2 points in the second half. And Ohio State still with a 10-point edge. Under 8 minutes to play. And Omarui's going to get whistled for the push from behind on Wesson. We will take a quick timeout. Get a 10-point edge for the home team. Be playing on Sunday.
So the Big Ten is always represented well in some of the bigger sporting events in the world. And the Super Bowl is no exception. Nice job by getting that correct and adding those guys on there.
And Tom Brady is still the quarterback of the New England Patriots, by the way. Gets the bucket to fall.
You know, as C.J. Jackson and Keyshawn Woods got challenged at halftime.
How can you tell?
Because they've come out very aggressive. They're not. Andre Wesson is getting it sometimes, but not every time down.
Jackson taking it all the way. Those live ball turnovers Rutgers can't afford to have.
Not on the road. They break your back. what I mean, when I see Woods and C.J. Jackson, Lisa, they have been inconsistent. So you heard Coach Holtman talk about he's looking for consistency. You got to go to your oldest guy. Those two have to step up, and they have.
Blocked by Wesson. Shot clock won't reset. That time, Kiss will go to the free throw line.
Caleb Wesson. Eugene Omoruyi has been able to overpower everyone else that has been guarding him, not Wesson. He could go through big fella, he threw it back. Nice job by Peter Kiss picking it up and drawing the contact.
He's been trying to draw contact all day.
Yeah, Wesson has been stellar here. And he's accepted his coach's challenge. Both on both ends of the floor, he didn't hesitate whatsoever in the first half, shooting 8 of 9 from the field. He hadn't had a lot of touches here in the second.
In the touches that he has had, he's given it up to his teammates. Here's Kiss for 3. They got a foul there on the floor. If that's on Andre Wesson, it's on one of them. That's going to be number 5 on Andre. And he's out.
They're trying to keep Omoruyi off the glass. That's a tall task.
I'm talking to Chris Holtman. We have discussed just the depleted roster that they've had really in the front court now with Andre Wesson exiting this game. Obviously, we've talked about Kyle Young injured, unable to play. Don't forget, too, about... We look one more time here at the last foul, the 5th foul on Andre Wesson.
You see Wesson trying to deal with Omoruyi. And it's a lot of contact there. Tough break for Ohio State. Let's see if they can absorb this the last 6:43.
Well, people forget, too, as I was going to say, Micah Potter electing to transfer to Wisconsin. They didn't factor that in because Ohio State started to do so well at the beginning of the year. But then when you're looking for numbers, you're looking for guys as he looks down the bench and tries to find a 4 or a 5. Not many left.
It's not. So Ledee is going to get more minutes than he normally would as a freshman, big, coming in. But it's for him, I'm sure the game is moving so fast right now. He's just got to get more experience.
So to your point, as C.J. Jackson brings it up, he's a senior. Keyshawn Woods, of course, the grad transfer. Those are the elder statesmen on the perimeter. Really, if you talk to Ohio State people, they'll say that the freshmen in Washington and Muhammad, 2 of the most vocal players on this team. Offensive rebound and putback for the sophomore Caleb Wesson.
And I agree with you, Lisa, in terms of the more vocal guys, Washington and Muhammad, but it's tough when you're freshmen and you've got upperclassmen that are a little quiet. You got to work through that throughout the season.
And it's tough rotation-wise, too, for this coaching staff. They really want to try to avoid playing 4 freshmen at a time if they can. They had everybody up in the air on that.
We call that the popcorn popper. Boy, and Musa Jallo didn't know whether he was coming or going. Nice job by Omoruyi taking his time. Rutgers got to get some stops, though, to cut into this double-digit deficit.
17 points and 7 rebounds for Omoruyi. The 3 from the corner for Luther Muhammad.
Excellent ball movement that time. I didn't know what C.J. Jackson, whether he's going to try to make something happen, but got it out of his hands quickly. Allowed Muhammad enough space to get that 3 off.
McConnell's turn. And Johnson just picking that out of the air.
But watch this ball movement, the last possession by Ohio State. Nice job of Woods. Kick it back. Enough space, gets it off. Luther Muhammad. Nice conversion from the wing.
Muhammad, though, has picked up his 4th, by the way, to go with his 12 points. 4 3-point makes. 11 of 25 as a team for Ohio State from 3.
It's tough to overcome that one. Trying to come in. Is that the second?
That's the second time he's done that. The first time I thought he didn't mean to, but now I'm starting to think he does.
I think it was Dorson the first time.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, Shaq Dorson. So when you see 2 guys banking free throws, that's not a good sign. But if they go in,
Looks the same on the stat sheet.
That's right. They will get clowned in the film session tomorrow, trust me.
And
Caleb McConnell whistled for the foul. This Rutgers team, again, as we started to talk about at the beginning of this game, doing things they had never done in the Big Ten before, winning 3 straight conference games. They're doing it. Steve Peichel, he's been a builder wherever he's been at, but he's been doing it really with players who aren't highly recruited. He's not getting a whole lot of 4-star, 5-star players.
What that indicates to me, Lisa, is that their staff is excellent at player development. Carl Hodge, Brandon Knight. These guys do an excellent job of player development. So at Rutgers, you'll have opportunity to come in and play if you can play under Steve Peichel. I mean, you get your opportunities. Ask Geo Baker, Ron Harper Jr., McConnell. These guys will all get opportunities as a freshman if you come to Rutgers and work. You gotta work, you gotta play hard.
Paul McCahey is a recruit who they're super excited about. He actually is a 4-star coming in. They call him a 6'6" passing first kind of point guard. McConnell for 3. Rutgers isn't done yet.
Nice job by Omoruyi. He got stuck in the eye, was still able to get that ball out to McConnell. Caleb McConnell is balling here this afternoon for Rutgers.
11 points. That's his second 3-point make.
Somewhat of a raggedy possession here for Ohio State. Somebody's going to have to make a play.
Woods is thinking about it. He was thinking about that shot the whole time. You could feel it coming. We will take our under 4 timeout. Rutgers trying to make a last-minute charge.
Yet. Still got 3:50 left.
He's deferred a little bit in the second half. It's resulted in a career-high 5 assists, too, by the way. And the 3rd time in his career that he's gotten 25 or more points. And his career high is 31 against Youngstown State. Shot clock winding down, and Marie throws it away.
Ohio State's defense is not going to get credit for the way that Rutgers is held down today. It wasn't the fact that Rutgers wasn't shooting well. It's because Ohio State's effort and intensity on the defensive end have been impressive all game long.
Ohio State again looking to turn the corner. January, they'd like to forget. Adding to the lead with a little pad, Keyshawn Woods for 3.
Now, Ohio State holds on to win this game, which it looks like they will at this point. They have a much more manageable schedule in February than they had in January. And so they can hold on here and build some momentum. They've got Penn State here next. So you can start to see this as a resurgence for the Buckeyes.
Well, yeah, Ohio State in January, and really if you go back, starting in January against Michigan State, they've played, other than Wisconsin, they've played the top teams in the conference. You got Michigan State and Iowa and Maryland and Purdue and Michigan.
I mean, that's a gauntlet. That's the toughest stretch as any team has had so far in the Big Ten.
Rutgers calls the timeout to talk about it.
Matthews has struggled from the field. I think John Teske got in foul trouble. Xavier Simpson is not a scoring lead guard. And so at times, Michigan struggles scoring the rock.
Ohio State here looking to salt this one away in the final couple of minutes. 13-point edge here for Ohio State.
Rutgers has not played poorly today. This may be one of the more complete efforts that we've seen from Ohio State.
Steve Peichel had told us, I dare say, that we practiced really well yesterday. He didn't know how that would translate into today. But if Rutgers is going to win, they're going to have to kind of win ugly. That's the way they've done it in the last 3 games. Kick out to McConnell. Hunting down a career high, and McConnell now has it. Tied it.
know, finding a silver lining in the same page. Steve Pikiell has done a fantastic job of that.
Over a decade without a winning record for this program. It really had become out of touch with some of the recruiting circles in New Jersey as Arns draws the foul.
Good job of breaking the pressure by Ohio State and not settling for getting across half court, but taking it to the rim like Arns just did.
Get more basketball coming up, presented by Jeep, Nebraska, and Illinois.
So is that going to be the Kevin Kugler?
I think it's Brandon Gaudin.
Oh, Brandon gets to go out to Lincoln,
Morris.
Nebraska.
I think Kevin called in and said, I can't work with Sean today.
So there's no one left.
I mean, he's tough to work with. There's no one left. Brandon got the short straw.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't know how this suddenly turned into Pile on Sean Morris Day, but it did.
I know. A lot of love for Morris, even when he's not calling the game.
Quiet day for number 0 Baker. 2 of 9 shooting on the afternoon. They foul Caleb Wesson.
Ohio State's handling the pressure here late. They can stay strong on the free throw line. They should be okay here. Last minute 17.
So tell me this, Caleb Wesson, as we showed you, a really big first half. 21 points and only 4 points in the second half. So what was it about Ohio State to maintain this lead in the second half and Caleb Wesson isn't scoring?
I think it's been C.J. Jackson, Keyshawn Woods have stepped up. You know, they took the scoring onus away from Caleb Wesson. Also, Luther Muhammad has been stellar from three-point line. He's had 4 made threes. So the backcourt has really here in the second half for Ohio State.
Single digits really for Caleb Wesson. 3 of the last 5 games coming into today. They needed a big day from him. As much as Ohio State has been up and down in January, Caleb Wesson kind of has been up and down. Averaging almost 8 points per game in the last 5 games.
You've got a guy like Caleb Wesson. If you can keep him out of foul trouble early, he can be a force the remainder of the game. This has been a big game for Keyshawn Woods as well.
Woods, the kick out to Jackson, and a little cherry on top for Ohio State. His 6th career game, 20-plus points for Jackson.
Good job by Omarudi on the follow-up, but I'm telling you, we will go back and see Ohio State later in the month. Chris Holtmann will point back to the Rutgers game, where Ohio State established themselves, got some rhythm, built some confidence.
Needed this win big. They improved to 4-6 now in conference play. And some opportunities here to pick up some wins on the horizon, perhaps, for Ohio State. A depleted roster for Chris Holtmann in a year where he has called at times the most difficult of his career, trying to navigate some of the ups and downs through this season.